here. I'll be saying this through the remainder of January. With that being said, the three Money Amigos are coming to you live today with just one of the three Money Amigos, and that's me. Attorney Beverly Winstead is actually in court defending one of her clients against the IRS. Let's all wish her a win. And for Joyce Sistrunk, CPA, she's actually in the process of hiring new people to her company. So she is interviewing someone right now. So she is unavailable to participate in this Three Money Migos session today. So again, it's just me. I'm going to be talking about 5 ways to create a budget going into 2023. If you are in the need for any tax services or litigation with the IRS, please get in contact with Attorney Beverly Winstead. She can be reached at www.irshelpattorneys.com. Tax season officially starts next week. So if you need a tax representative during this time period, you want to get in contact with her. Now, for those of you all who have general accounting needs, be it an audit, general accounting, some type of tax as it relates to your company, you can get in contact with Joyce Sistrunk's company, Premier Group, at www.pgs-cpa.com. And if you're interested in learning how to invest in the stock market, cryptocurrency, you may have recently saw some tick ups in cryptocurrency in the stock market, and you're thinking, okay, let me position myself now. Please reach out to myself and co-founder Leon Noble at www.iea.now.com. Again, that's IEA now, NAWNOW.com. So let's talk about it. 5 ways to create a budget in 2023. For anybody out there who made a New Year's resolution and your New Year's resolution was to get your finances in order, you cannot. Fundamentally, it's impossible to get your finances in order if you don't know how much money you make. And I've heard people time and time again say, you know what, I don't know how much I make anymore. It just goes into the account and I spend it. In this era where pretty much everything comes to us digitally, it's very rare for a person to receive a paycheck like they used to and go to the bank and cash a paycheck and walk away with a statement now knowing exactly how much you deposited into your account on a regular basis. We still get statements, but they may be via email. They may come as a mock check, meaning the money was actually deposited into your account automatically, but you receive a check just for accounting purposes. When we get these things, we don't have a need to open them like we used to. So we still, and those of you all who don't log into your account on a regular basis, it's very easy to not know how much you get paid, or it doesn't. You don't feel the same connection to the money that you once felt. So the very first thing you need to do in creating a budget is figure out how much money you make on a monthly basis. For you entrepreneurs who run multiple companies, this can be particularly difficult for you all, and this is why you should have bookkeepers. If you have 12 different streams or 4 different streams of revenue, and you don't know how much comes from each one on a monthly basis, if it is variable, and for anybody who's watching this thinking, oh, I have a variable income, take the last 5 months and just figure out what the average has been over the last 5 months, and just assume that is your monthly net income for any one month. It is not exact. It's not a science to that, but you need to have some type of average to figure out what your monthly income is. Because if it fluctuates and you're just trying to figure out every month what you can buy and what you can't and how to manage your expenses, it can become very difficult, which can cause you not to stay consistent with your budget. So for those of you all who do that, the next thing you want to do, now you know your total monthly income. Great. You did for variable people, you just looked at the last 5 months, divided it by 5. That gave you the average. For those of you all who are W-2 income, if you get paid monthly, that's super easy. If you get paid bi-weekly, then just, of course, times 2. So now you know what you make. You have to know what your total expenses are. Make a record of your total expenses. For most of you all, you can sit down and just figure out what your baseline expenses are, your actual needs. I will say this. If you do not know your expenses, or if your expenses tends to fluctuate extremely from month to month, extremely like extreme amount of fluctuation from month to month, I would suggest recording your expenses for a 3-month period, going back in, and then figuring out on average what you spend on what you spend it on, to give you a fuller picture than if you just were to guess. If you need to back up your thoughts, or confirm what you're thinking, pull your bank statements, pull your credit card statements all together, and at one time go through each of them, and then figure out what your normal monthly spending is. Now, you have a list of all your expenses, what you normally spend money on in a given month. Go through that list. This will be step number 3. Go through that list and figure out what is a fixed expense. Once you know what your fixed expenses are, it may be water, electricity, mortgage, rent, education costs for you, your kids, your parents, housing, whatever you spend monthly on a monthly basis, there's a fixed cost, mark it fixed. Write down fixed next to it. If you're keeping on a spreadsheet, type in fixed next to it. Then figure out what your variable costs are. And of your variable costs, I would say just put a V next to those costs. And those are costs that fluctuate. So you may have a gas. Gas is not a fixed cost. It's not the same amount of money every single month. It's going to be variable. It changes. Cleaning, going to the cleaners, that's not going to be a fixed cost. It's going to vary. Just put a V next to all your variable costs. Those are costs that you normally have on a monthly basis that change in price. Shopping, you may not buy the same amount of stuff every month, depending on how you keep your wardrobe or shoes or whatever it might be. Then after you have that V, go through the variable items and then figure out which one of those are necessities and which one of those are just desires of yourself, like desires you have. So put an N next to all the things that are necessary, a D next to just desires, or a W for wants, depending on how you want to do it. After that, you want to subtract those costs, and that's going to give you your monthly net income after expenses are paid. Once you have that, and now you have that list, you know how much you net after expenses, whether necessary expenses or not, you know how much it is. Go through the list, starting with the fixed costs. Are they actual fixed? Just do a once over to say, are these really fixed or not? Once you do that confirmation, then you want to look at the variable costs with the V and the D to see, are these variable costs that are desires necessary? If they aren't, figure out which ones you can cut off. And as you take these off your list of things that you were committing not to continue to spend money on going into 2023, make sure you add those numbers back into your net income, because it should, as you eliminate those items, or as you make a pledge to yourself not to make these spontaneous purchases in 2023, your net income should go up. After that, of course, that's step 4. Step 5 is analyze, refine, and repeat. Analyze it, refine the process, and repeat the process. This, over, I say, a 4-month period or so, maybe 5, will help you get a real understanding of what it is you thought you could just cut out and what it is you really can cut out. Oftentimes, we'll tell ourselves that we're not going to spend any more money on the movies. Like whenever we go to the movies, we're just not going to do it. We're going to watch Netflix forever. Then we realize, oh, I really enjoy going to the movies. It provides some level of stress release for me. Then you should continue doing that. If you are a golfer and you write this list saying, oh, I know I'm going to cut out golfing, but you realize, again, that's one of your favorite types of exercise. Don't try to eliminate it. Figure it out. Maybe you're not going to go as much. Maybe you're going to bring your own balls. I don't know what it is for that industry, but just make sure what you finish with, where your plan ends, it matches your personality and what you're able to actually do. Do not make these pie in the sky statements, because you will not be able to sustain it. Hopefully this helps somebody today understand 5 ways to create a budget going into 2023. Understand your income, understand your total expenses. Then after you understand your total expenses, go in. Are these fixed costs, meaning are they the same every month? Are they variable costs, meaning they change every month? Of the variable costs, are they necessities? If they are, put an index to it. If they are not necessities, maybe they're just wants or desires, you can put a W, you can put a D, whatever it is for you. Then you want to make sure you get the total. So subtract all the expenses from your income. Hopefully, it's not a negative number, but that'll show you what your net income is for any given month. Start going back through the list. Remove anything that's not necessary that should add to your total income for the month. And then step 5 is rinse and repeat that process until you feel like it has become a habit. I'm Brent Simpson, co-founder of Investing Education Academy, along with Leon Noble, and one part of the Three Money Amigos with Joyce Sistrunk, CPA, and attorney Beverly Winstead. If you all need to reach any of us, all the information is listed on the, or actually is listed right on the screen right now. So feel free to get in touch with us. Tax season officially starts next week. So hopefully everyone is prepared. And if not, please call a service provider, preferably one of us, but whomever you need, get